Hi everyone, and welcome to another amazing episode of Trip Around Your Multiverse with your host, the guy who bought his girlfriend tickets to WrestleMania, but I'm scared I won't get a refund because she's been kidnapped, Kyle Charles, and
All
we're
right.
reminded.
And the child of destruction that lives in the wall of hell, T.Y. Chung.
And we are doing another episode of talking up pretty crappy films. This was a slog, as I can say. Um, and I don't know where to go with this. What we sorry, this is like melted my mind watching these. The four films we're going to talk about are the Super Mario
Not a
Brothers.
great combination of films.
No,
So
not at all.
yeah, I can understand why you're being a bit like, okay, what do we go for first? What do we start with? Because none of them are great, the greatest choices either.
No,
So
one had potential. Well, I say two had potential, but Super Mario Brothers.
well, okay, look, it depends on your perspective. Okay, which ones do you want to go for first? Okay, here's the list, right?
All right,
So
here's
so
the
the,
list, here's the
so
list.
you guys know what we watched.
Yeah,
Super Mario Brothers 994 was it?
93, I believe.
Yeah. Um, okay, Super Mario Brothers. Okay, The Story of Ricky O,
Yeah.
1999, aka yeah, Story
Wait,
of
what?
Ricky, aka Ricky O,
That came out in 1999.
1991.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay.
Okay, Enter the Game of Death, which is a exploitation film, 1990, 1978,
Yeah.
and JLA, Justice League of America, 1997, the TV movie though.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll tell you the order that I watched in, right? And I think it
Okay.
actually went in the order of okay, so I watched it Super Mario Brothers,
Same. Yeah.
JLA, Enter the Game of Death, and Rikio. And I think it went from weird to bonkers
Hmm.
to like strange and then insane. So the level of your brain function to watch these or the way I watched it is like it got crazier and crazier as it was going along.
Yeah. Because I watched it in Super Mario,
Yeah.
Game of Death, Justice League, and then Rikio.
Okay. Okay, should we do an order that you watched in?
No,
Because
I
we're
think
relative, mostly kind of the same.
Yeah, because we could leave Rikio to last. So
All right.
let's do
Okay.
your order. Let me see. It's all good.
All
to
right.
me.
Super Mario Brothers. All right. Okay. Good things about this, right?
Yeah.
Good things. All
Good
right.
thing, good thing.
So, and we are not going by the source material. We're just going to go by what we're watching as a movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Mario and Luigi are decently cast. I thought it was quite funny. Their name was their character names are Mario
And Luigi.
and Mario Luigi. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so when one of the police wardens whoever asked him what your names are, and it said Mario. Oh, what's your first name? Mario. What's your second name? Mario. What's your name? Luigi. And what's your surname? Mario. I was like, how many Marios are there? There's three because there's Mario and Luigi Mario. I'm like, okay, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, that's quite funny. Yeah,
Um.
they were goodly cast. I think, to be fair, like you, I agree. I believe majority of the cast, they were very good as their
Yeah,
expected roles for what
they
it is.
suited the roles that they were given to play. That's
Yeah,
the thing, right?
yeah,
Not that the
totally.
movie was great or anything like that, but they worked within it. I didn't think Alan Silvestri's score. Now this is strange because this is the same guy who did Captain America: First Avenger
Okay.
and the Avengers movies, right?
Oh wow.
He these scores.
Wow.
And I think they actually work with the what you were seeing on screen, like the musical scores or the music sound engineering worked with
Yeah,
whatever was happening.
it really did.
If it feels silly, it'd be a bit more boppy. If it was a bit more serious, it'd be like one of those a slower tone thing bit.
Yeah,
So it's like, yeah, the music wasn't worked well with the moments that they were having on screen at the time.
yeah, totally. It suited the
Okay.
moods and stuff.
Now, the story of this, of course, is they are dinosaurs from a parallel dimension
No,
that evolved back.
they're the dinosaurs from our Earth, but the
Yeah.
meteor hit the Earth and made another dimension. So
Within the
they
Earth.
evolved into humans in
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So now, as wacky as that sounds, right?
Yeah. It makes sense.
I
What I was
think it
doing.
kind of. I don't want to say I get the logic, but you talk about what so many years of evolution, right? Billions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not impossible.
No. It just doesn't
Um,
make
so I
sense.
don't know why that the dinosaur universe, the parallel dimension, right?
Yeah.
That's within the Earth,
Yeah.
is looks like your typical, like it looks a bit like Total Recall, kind of, that sort
Yeah.
of So I want to say, with the tone of what they're trying to show at the time,
Yeah.
the era, it was consistent with like Demolition Man, sort of similar as well,
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
downtown areas. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, all right, fair enough. This looks kind of what the people imagined these post-apocalyptic kind of, not necessarily downtown worlds to look like, but
Yeah.
it worked.
Yeah.
It's what's there at the time.
Yeah. And they kind of gave reason for it being like that because, like, when Daisy's dad, I can't remember Daisy's surname in this, whatever it is, when he was king, the Mushroom Kingdom was like a nice place. It didn't look like that. But then when Cooper took over, it went to crap and became essentially, like you're saying, Demolition Man.
Yeah, yeah. And let's see. Now, so what Daisy's mum came
Yeah.
to the Earth, the normal dimension, right?
Yeah.
She left Daisy with nuns,
Yeah.
right? And then she went back to her dimension, right? But
Yeah.
Daisy is an egg to begin with. Like
Yeah.
the nun unwrapped and you think it's a baby, but it's an egg. And then she
Yeah.
hatched a human outside of the egg. And I was like, okay, fair enough. I mean, it is a It is. They give you the lowdown at the very beginning, right?
Yeah.
Massive exposition dump.
Yeah.
And Louis tells
Big
you,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was like, okay, fair enough. It makes sense why this baby came out of an egg. However, they also give the same like when they're going through the film, they give the same explanations later on. So
Yeah.
like, did you really need that thing at the beginning? I mean, fair enough. It is kind of a bit weird not to have it, and if you didn't have it, it'd be, oh, why does this baby come out of an egg? But then now later on, you wait for the mystery of what's to unfold as to what's happening.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like it could have.
You didn't need it twice, is what I mean.
No, like they could have either skipped that beginning bit or skipped out the second explanation for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or give like a very brief explanation for it second time so the characters know.
Yeah.
But it seemed like they went through it twice.
Yeah, for like.
I don't know if
reason.
maybe they were told, okay, this is a bit weird. You need to give an explanation at the beginning.
Yeah.
You need to have a voiceover.
Yeah. But yeah, other things I liked, the banter between the Mario brothers. Thought that was
Yep.
pretty cool. Pretty fun.
Yeah, and then okay, Bob Hopkins is British and he does a decent Italian.
American accent. Yeah.
Yeah, so he never didn't sound like he wasn't from the US.
No. And
They I guess logically speaking they got to be kind of Mario with a name like Mario. You got to be Italian-ish.
yeah.
They both kind of look it.
Yeah. Even though John Egger, what's he? How do you say his name?
Leguizamo?
Yeah, he's Puerto Rican, but yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, this is Hollywood at the end of the
Yeah,
day. They cast
exactly.
whatever,
You know.
So,
It
yeah.
is what it is. What was the other another cool little thing?
let me see. The prosthetics and makeup actually look really good, don't you think? And the
Yes.
creature effects.
Yeah, I was literally about to say that.
Yeah.
Like that looked pretty cool. The Goombas looked pretty funny
Yeah.
and realistic to a certain extent, even though which bit didn't make sense that they get de-evolved or whatever,
Yeah.
but they grow taller, but they have small heads.
Well, yeah, yeah, okay. No, well, okay, right. So I'm just gonna patch that in and say, between the evolution, those millions of years of evolution, we don't know how far they evolved from that point to become the Goombas and then become humans. So when you
Yeah.
devolve humans back into the upper reverse, at some point they might have been that.
Yeah, true. Even though, like, realistically, why, like, foot behind the scenes magic sort of thing, it makes sense because for the robotics for the head to work, you have that gap, so it makes sense. But Right. Okay.
I did also, as we were talking about the Upworld and Downworld,
Yeah.
the alternate the dinosaur universe.
Yeah.
They made an effort to make a stylistic difference because the Upworld, where in New York, Brooklyn, where the Mario Brothers are,
Yeah.
daytime, well, kind of not necessarily colorful, but that's kind of it has color, right?
Yeah.
They go into the dinosaur universe or dimension, whatever,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's all kind of dark and dreary. But that's probably because they don't have sunlight, really.
Yeah.
But there's a distinguishable difference between everything.
And they sort of filmed it differently. I'm pretty sure they had like a filter over it, so it looked kind of darker
Yeah,
than normal.
and when the Mario Brothers came into that world, they were like, they acted as like, why is this so different? So
Yeah.
good on them. I don't want to say necessarily how committed they were, but they acted as though their characters were confused as to what's going on.
Yeah, like we were.
Into everything because they didn't know what's going on either.
No, there was like, this makes no to the sense. But
Dennis
What
Cooper,
else?
as we were saying, Dennis Hopper, as we were saying, is playing King Cooper.
yeah,
He enjoyed his ham and cheese.
yeah, he loved it. You can tell.
And I liked his cohort, Fiona Shaw, who
Yeah.
was playing Lena. And as you know, when you're a despotic king,
Yeah,
who's a dictator, you're always gonna have your second in command who wants to take power and stab you in the back. And she played it perfectly.
perfectly. And then she died.
Yep, but as you would expect for a person who does that, behavior.
Yeah, exactly.
I did also like how when they eventually use so they come into the real world and then they de-evolved a dude into a monkey,
Yeah,
right? And then later on when they go back into the dinosaur world, King Koopa gets shot by the de-evolve rate and he turns into a Tyrannosaurus Rex, but then he keeps on de-evolving backwards into like he looks like Goop, right? But I'm like, that's amoebas. That's that's the very stuff that we evolved from from the very beginning, if you believe that sort of thing.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, according to religion, it's not, but I'm just gonna say, according to the movie, the theme of the movie runs straight.
yeah,
When he de-evolved so far back. Like, okay, he didn't just mutate into Goop because it couldn't go. It was too far gone.
no.
Did you catch blatant Reebok advertising on the Bob-omb?
Yeah, I blatantly saw that.
Was that necessary? Whatever.
No, it wasn't. But hey, man, you gotta get paid.
Yeah.
And obviously, the bazooka they used was the Nintendo bazooka gun for the SNES. So another product placement. So yeah.
The jump boots make sense as a type of travel because when you think about it, they got open areas with loads of balconies and floors.
Yeah.
So to get from one place to another, you need the rocket boots, the jump boots. And
Yeah.
Okay, that's a
That's logic.
good reason to have it within the story that you've created.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that would just were they creating the jump boots specifically because Mario jumps, or did they work it into the story, or they're like, okay, we got a story here. Oh, well, let's use this device because it actually makes sense for people to travel.
Yeah. He's like, okay. I remember as a kid though, I wanted a pair of those jump boots. They're not real and never will be because so many hazards will come with that. But yeah, they look cool. Super cool.
Okay, so any other good stuff you want to say about this?
I'm trying to think. Not really. No.
Okay, do you want to go to the bad stuff then?
Could do. You know what? I ain't got that much bad things to say about it, except for like the obvious.
Yeah, but let me say at least at the very least, right?
Yeah.
As much as people are saying this film, the story does actually make sense.
Yeah.
What goes on makes sense, and with the devices they have and the law that they give you of how these things work, yeah, it's acceptable.
Yeah, totally. It's nothing to do with Super Mario whatsoever.
No.
But it's a decent film and story. Just
Yeah, I thought actually Luigi and Daisy, that would be John Leguzzi.
John Leguizamo.
Yeah, that's it. And Samantha Mathis, who played Daisy, worked together.
Yeah.
Sometimes I thought her acting was a bit dodgy, right?
Yeah. Very.
But Oh, you know what it is though, because I think she's playing it low key to compared to everyone else.
Yeah,
Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo, they've
Yeah.
got to come into the world that's kind of outrageous, and they've got to
Yeah.
play it in a way they're completely confused.
yeah,
And as we know, Fiona Shaw and Dennis Hopper, they're completely going over the top, right?
yeah,
So when you get someone like Samantha Mathis, I don't want to say, whether you think she's acting bad in this, but it just might not be her character's as colorful as everyone else.
yeah. She's sort of like you're saying the in between. Like you got the people who know what's going on in the world and the people who don't, and then she's like, "Huh, I buy it," and just carries on.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, the worst we could say is it's not based on the law of the games, right? But
Yeah,
then
no.
the law of the games doesn't really have that much going on.
No. So they
They
did the
have to make
best
up a
they
lot of
could.
stuff.
Yeah. It's like you do the best you could with something that all the story literally is, and Mario is he's got to save a princess from a castle.
Yeah, yeah. Look, they did. I don't want to say they tried to make it believable, realistic, but they tried to make it more grounded. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have went completely colourful, but I think they
Yeah.
struck a tone where I don't know. It's an odd tone because it looks gritty, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't look, but then it makes sense because it's in the down world.
Yeah.
But then sometimes you have a bit ludicrous things going on, and you're like, yeah. I mean, if this is meant to be a cartoony, over the top thing, fair enough.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look sometimes.
Yeah, it is. It's a strange one. But I do
yeah.
think it doesn't deserve all the hate it gets. If I'm
No,
honest.
I don't think it does either.
No.
You just gotta kind of be, I don't know. You just gotta be like, well, this is. Everyone's dressed like they. Oh no, not even everyone's dressed like they would be, right? But just, look, this is Super Mario Brothers in name only. It could have
Yeah.
just been an original film.
Yeah. And it would have been okay. May have got a sequel. You know what I mean? 'Cause if it was-
Well, yeah. I mean, look, it's a nutty adventure. That's the best way to
Yeah.
put it, right?
Yeah. So like, there's probably a different dimension where this film came out, and it wasn't called Super Mario Brothers, and
Yeah.
they possibly right now would be on the reboot of it. You know.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
All right.